Now I will share a story on how a filthy, dirty house will likely invite evil spirits, ghosts, and jinns to live inside it. And at the same time, they will try to chase the humans who have lived in it out. Thus, this will lead into strange phenomenon happening, as well as turning the house into a haunted, spooky house. I have a lot of experiences in accompanying my friend, who is a healer, going to many of the places where paranormal phenomenon happened. All made me realize the strong connection between a haunting phenomenon and the filthy state of such places. This includes houses where humans live in, for sure. As stated in the Asian and Middle Eastern folklore tales and some verses from the holy texts, most of the unseen livings love to stay in a secluded, abandoned places far from humanity. Sometimes they will also stay in the places where humanity lives. This includes dirty and filthy places. What's the key word here? Dirty, filthy place. Without wasting any more time, let's hop into our story. It was a nice night. My friend Aziz was hanging out with us, talking about the usual English Premier League football matches. With a cup of coffee and cigarettes, we kept on chatting and chatting without even looking at the clock. Aziz received a call. It sounded like a distress call, with shouting and screaming was heard. I extinguished my cigarette quickly. I knew soon it would be time for us to move. And yes, I was right. Aziz told me about a possession case in a house, around 15 minutes by car, and so we drove to the house. The housing complex was a new one, with only around 5 houses were inhabited out of 30 houses built, and next to it was a thick forest. As soon as we parked our car in front of the house, some young ladies were already crying and running to us. They told us that one of their housemates was possessed. At first, that woman went on rambling about something unknown and started spewing gibberish in foreign languages that none of them could understand. Then she ended up screaming, trying to choke the others. This is a serious business, Aziz told me. I only shrugged, not saying anything. We were lucky that we brought some limes, some bags of salt with us. That means the process of making blessed water would be much easier. Plus, it's already 11 at night. No stores or shops would still open at this late hour. Aziz and I walked inside the house. We were shocked with how dirty the house was. Unclean mugs, bowls, and plates scattering around. Dirty laundries at the corner with flies and cockroaches roaming freely. Used and dirty lingerie on the floor. And the bathroom? It was in a sorry state of filth. We only shook our head and simply walked into a room where the possessed woman was in. The housemates followed us and hid behind us when we sat down, facing the possessed woman in the room. After a few minutes of trying to be civilized to the Jinn and listening to the Jinn's empty threats against us, we discovered that the Jinn loved to stay since the house is so filthy and dirty. Plus, the messy kitchen with unclean plates and bowls were said to be the Jinn's foods. Basically, that evil Jinn was a damn freeloader. Aziz then started reciting some verses from the holy book. The Jinn which possessed woman screamed again in pain and agony. The Jinn pleaded for mercy, and Aziz offered the Jinn to go back into the forest and never to disturb anybody else living in the housing complex. The Jinn agreed and left the woman's body. Other housemates helped the woman as soon as she regained consciousness. Aziz just sat there in front of them, with his face clearly showing disgust and anger. Aziz then scolded the women about what he learned from the small moment of encounter with the evil Jinn. Yes, it is indeed the matter of cleanliness. And while Aziz and I made spiritual barrier around the house with the blessed water that we had just made before, those women cleaned their house and threw the garbage out. After our work was already finished there, we went back home. Man's gotta sleep. Daily work awaits. In most cultures and traditions, cleanliness plays a huge role in shielding against evil paranormal entities and spirits. This belief is often connected to one simple concept: chaos and neglect attract negative energy, while cleanliness and order repel them. So, what can you do to protect yourself from cases similar to the story just now? Just stay clean and healthy. Clean yourself Take shower often. Get used to perfumes and sweet scent. Clean your house. Whether you live in a rich mansion or in a poor, shabby hut, clean it regularly. Do not leave it in a sorry, filthy state, or else you will have uninvited guests. Whether you realize it or not, being clean will attract positive energy to you. It will also help you to build self-confidence and self-awareness. By building these elements in you, you will have a much stronger barrier against negative energy that will attract evil spirits and paranormal entities to your side. Remember, God loves beauty, and you are all beautiful.